Hello folks. Well, as you saw in my previous video, the tail shaft and gears broke easily on my Honeybee King when the tail rotor hit the grass on that landing. It's a pretty weak link for the Honeybee Kings and the Honeybee Cools. You know, it's impossible to buy one, plus the tail boom and gear assembly is actually all one piece. Well, the gears are glued onto the shaft, and since they're bigger than the boom, it's impossible to replace the shaft and slide the gears in the boom. So for that reason, I decided to add my favorite tail assembly to it, and it's now called the Hyper King NOTAR. Well, in addition, I was able to study that broken carbon fiber drive shaft and come up with a fix, and I'm going to give it a try in this video after making a flight with my NOTAR. Well, also, this is the first helicopter that I've ever converted to a Hyper NOTAR version with an auto rotation clutch, so I'm going to be anxious to see how it flies and lands this way. This is the Honeybee King, and the reason I'm excited about flying it is because I've made a lot of different tail rotorless helicopters over the years, including inventing the Hyperfly for the Japanese company Kyosho. And the thing that's interesting about this is once you know how to fly one and use the throttle, you can control the tail and do some pretty good steering, which I'm going to show you in a second. The thing that's different about this, and the reason I did it, is because the drive shaft broke on the original Honeybee King. But the difference about this is it's got a freewheeling clutch, and the auto rotation would cause the tail rotor to continue to spin when you land, and that of course caught the grass and broke my tail shaft, which can't be repaired. I did manage to repair it though, and I'm going to show you how. The thing that's different about this, and I'm looking forward to it, is when you spin it up and you shut it off, it's going to freewheel. And it really should be able to do quite a nice auto rotate and fly very slow in the breeze. And I'm going to show you here. I'll give it a little juice here and show you what I'm talking about. Shut it off. See how it just continues to spin. It just continues to spin. So it's going to be able to land pretty good. We'll see how well it flies slow. Of course, the original Hyperfly didn't have any throttle control, and once we added throttle control, it was made a lot pleasurable to fly. This is the original Hyperfly without the fancy Apache bodies or anything. This is what it looked like. And as you can see, the tail is shaped just like a frisbee and it falls behind just like a weather vane. So once you learn how to fly it and control it, it was pretty easy to fly because you only need to know left and right and fore and aft, and it flies just like a regular airplane. You didn't have to learn to do all that hovering. So the way it would work is you would spin it up, and if you go faster, it wants to turn this way. You go slower, it wants to go this way. So by jockeying the throttle, you were able to get that to fly. And of course, as the battery ran down, like on the original ones, you would land it and the whisker switch would shut it off when you went like a regular airplane. So this has no auto rotation clutch, so you actually had that torque that you could deal with. So the Honeybee King has an auto rotation clutch. So that's not going to have as much sideways torque to mess around with, and that's going to be interesting to see how it flies. I'm looking forward to go out and try it because I think it's going to really do a really nice auto rotate. By pinching the stick, you have much more control than you do this wobbling around stuff, because you know you can really feel it, and you can also get your finger up here and do this. If you're flying with this, it's kind of hard. So most of the professional pilots that I've ever seen, and the way I was taught, is to learn to pinch that left stick. Doesn't matter so much on the right stick, because you can let go of that and get away with it. But you cannot drop this stick at all. You've got to hold it firmly, and especially when you're doing 3D. So let's go out and get a shot.
Well, even though I can fly it easily, I thought I would like the auto rotation clutch better with no tail rotor. But I actually had too much negative pitch on the main rotor when I went to low or no throttle. I didn't take that into consideration as it now sucks down pretty fast. The pitch curve needs to be adjusted for only positive pitch when the throttle is off. That'll be a pretty easy programming fix for next time.
All right.
So,
let's put the other tail on it. I found out that if I took a piece of neoprene, I could cut this and splice it onto the broken gear, which I did. Neoprene and super glue stick like crazy. It's a plastic. And so I was able to actually make a coupling on here and put it in right in here and managed to get that back on there. It's nice and tight. And I'm going to pop this back on, which is easy. It just slides back on and I'll be able to fly it both ways and see if I was able to actually repair this good enough to fly it the way it was originally designed. But these gears on here, very weak. You just hit the grass a little bit and you're going to take a tooth out of it. So let's go out and get a shot. Well, that's working pretty good. Ha ha ha.
well, when that gear broke off, I never thought I'd find a way to fix it, but we Marines are known for being stubborn and never giving up. Thanks so very kindly for watching. Please subscribe. Make sure to click that bell to be notified when I make new content. Stay healthy and happy Memorial Day. This is Dave the Night Flyer signing off for now.